Hey, why don't you come along with me and meet Jimmy's granny? She wants to show you the things she has and what she can do. She doesn't live in the same world as you. She lives inside a machine. She doesn't live in the same world as you. That's why we call her Cyber Granny. That's why we call her Cyber Granny. Welcome back to Jimmy and the Pulsating Mess. This game has me in a singy mood, apparently. Jimmy's grandma paid a visit, and it was not a cordial visit. No, she was getting controlled by an evil dog. Don't ask me too many questions about it. I don't understand it either. But we ended up here in the world of music. Also, when you're Jimmy, you could use the ability button to get thoughts in Jimmy's head. Music all around him. Geez, because everybody's an instrument. Which there's a coronation going on. And the Queen has already made her first royal composition. Sound a little familiar. Maybe we should check in on that. Okay, that's the resident crazy guy. Oh, I better not let Timmy see me in my regular form. Timmy! I know, we're in the land of instruments. How does that work? It's a legato. No, first time actually. The Queen is back, and she's normal again. Good for her. The Queen was a good person. But then all of a sudden, she really wasn't anymore. And then things fell silent. She got really mean. She was telling people not to use a sharp anymore. Oh, that's terrible. We're out knights, too. No queen, no knights. Guess the kingdom was doing fine without her. Do they really need a queen? It's an awesome story. Timmy's a historian. They just need, like, I don't know, talking animals in it. But we know that'll never happen. Miss Robin's here. She has some new stuff for us. Like a recorder. Oh, I remember those. Oh, I hated them so much. It's not really good for Jimmy either. It doesn't do anything for his attack. Look at that. 0. And the hand wraps are not too much better on Buck. They're better than what we got. Also, Jimmy is wearing a healing vest, so I'll just grab one tuxedo. And the Crush Manual. That's stronger than Bully, but it has a 1-turn cooldown. And might as well grab these while I'm here. A brand new set, the Kitty set. Alpha blocks and a stuffed hippo. So now we could try out a new set, too. And I'll buy some Coca-Cola. Why not? I'm full up on everything else. A nation of musical instruments. Well, that's what happens in a nation of musical instruments. Maybe you should sell, like, reeds or something. You probably need those. And Mr. Grouse is here, too. I didn't expect to end up here. You would not imagine my day. But here's the Legato branch of Grouse banking. It's his own little adventure. He's really up in the world now. It's a good thing he's becoming one of those nice bankers. The ones that care about your money. I'm here to bank, of course. Time to deposit some money in here in Grouse Industries. Or whatever they call it. Grouse Limited. Because he's limiting himself on his greed. That's a good thing. So Mr. Grouse is here, Miss Robin's here, Timmy's here. It's an invasion from Smile. Ah, speaking of which, Mr. Marvelous is here too. I forgot to shake Mr. Marvelous, but I'll get to that. What are you going to show me? Oh, your mansion! And such a marvelous mansion it is. It's rather unfroggy indeed. Well, at least you got plenty of statues to keep you company. Alright, Mr. Marvelous is extremely rich. He probably has a huge loan in Grouse Industries. Why do I keep on calling it Industries? Well, that means I just have to shake more people. So, this is Mr. Marvelous's place. Isn't it marvelous? It's got pictures of Legato here. I'd imagine he would have, like, pictures of maybe Smile or something, but, you know, maybe he likes Legato more. And welcome to the clock tower. Not much to do in here. Except talk to a cello. I think that's a cello. I'm not big on my instruments. Make music out of that. Well, learn to improvise then. I might have to meet his brother. Time stuck the switch in place. So the clock is running, but it's not really running. And we can't switch to switch. We need a great force. But we don't have any of that. I can't punk it open. So this is Legato. It's fun and all, but they won't let me leave. Maybe we should talk to the Queen about that. Instruments are deadly weapons. Just like that recorder we didn't buy. Oh, speaking of which, I didn't equip that armor. But we need to speak to the Queen. You kind of have us trapped. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second! Talk about jumping to conclusions! Although the knights are back, because the Queen is back. And now we don't stand a chance. Well, this is completely inappropriate. All he wanted to do was talk to the Queen. By the way, that's not a drawbridge he opened. There's actually a bridge above us. He locked us off from the Queen. Nice alarm, though. Wow, that's a funky alarm. I like it. Sadly, alarm means they're going to get attacked by tea mice and the whistling kettle. I wonder if I could steal something. Oh, I can steal the kettle's tea. Oh, and the mouse's tea, too. It's a tea party. I'm gonna strip the tea kettle rabbit of his tea. Don't want him refilling the mice, especially when he does stuff like that. He will never do that again. I like there's a little plink noise when the mice run into you. Probably can't hear it over the music. But stealing tea will give you more moxie points, which is good if you're hurting. Us, we're kinda a little bit overleveled. These enemies are slightly weaker than the bee enemies, which is odd. Especially since Grandma's enemies are actually slightly stronger than the bee enemies. If you wanted to fight, like, you know, the alarm robot. Might as well check around the castle. It's not too dangerous in here. Looks like we can't get that toy chest. It's far out of our reach. Gonna need something for that. It was just more mice and rabbit tea. What does that have to do with instruments or alarms? Hey guys, aren't you supposed to be doing something? Oh, you don't say. Oh, it's a good thing we never run across a 10-foot tall monster. No monsters here. Also, there was a horrible cat monster. Well, that guy probably didn't survive. No, you're a coward. How about you? Come on, there's a monster on the loose. Do some night things. Right, that cat monster was a big deal. You don't want to mess around with that thing. There's certainly absolutely nothing else going on besides cat monsters. If we would have entered from the right, this is where we would have ended up. Ah, the soldiers are on the ball today. The Toot Soldier. Doesn't have anything to steal, though. But I can use some healing. And I mean, we have a T generator right here. If it doesn't startle us, of course. I find a high five is a lot better than using Comforting Smile. Because it just heals way more. It's so much more effective. Also, Comforting Smile is actually quite expensive to use. Stop startling us! You would think after you hear T whistle the first time, you wouldn't be surprised at it anymore. Yes, Jimmy could give a high five to himself. Don't question it. I'm stealing that tea. That'll keep the tea kettle from, like, stunning us anymore. Even though murdering it does just as well. Good job. High fives all around. Hello, who are you? It's Martin! He has a new pet! And now he's in trouble for it. Typical kid, right? Hell, Martin just released something into the kitchen. They won't be able to finish the coronation. Oh, we can solve this. Hey, you look familiar! So Martin released a wild bird. It's the red-billed squawker, and it has absolutely nothing for us. Well, I can't bully. Let's bully the bird. I know, conflict of interest. Red-billed squawker is quite fast. And even on easy mode, it has quite a bit of health. So, insulting it and trying to stun it, unless you're going to hit with something like that, isn't really going to work in your favor too much. And when he starts doing that time waster, he's getting ready to use his hyper ability. This bird can go into overdrive. His agility doubles, and if he had Moxie points, he'd be using double of them. That just guarantees him some early turns for a while. Otherwise, he's just bird. And now he's a dead bird. Wow, I feel bad. I killed that poor bird! Jimmy, how do you feel about this? Yep, that's me late at night. Look, I was just getting a snack, okay? Run, Jimmy, run! Be free! Oh, that was close. Fly, off the microphone. I hate that fly. Shoo! I will get Bird Jimmy after you, and you will regret. It's so nice that Bird Jimmy got a taste of freedom. Well, the joke's on him. Red bill squawkers are ratites, and they can't fly. And now he is one! The best transformation in the game, Jimmy is now Bird. He has the ability to slam into things, and also he can jump over small gaps. Luckily, we have a use for that. Don't ask any questions about why I'm a bird now. Alright, good, she didn't. No, you can't. I have become the pet. I'll be back later to play fetch or something. So we got the red-billed squawker form. It gives you agility every level. It also comes with hyperactivity, which will overdrive Jimmy for an entire turn. It also has the ability to wake up everybody that's sleeping. It could dodge an entire turn, just like a rad ghost. And it could startle people. And some of the passives are pretty good too. You could become immune to sleep unless you do it yourself. And you could max out your agility, big time. Really good if you're going for an agility build, which is what I'm doing in my my pre-play. My agility build is insane. but they're even more insane builds, and I've been trying to find them. If anybody knows of any, let me know. Because this game could get pretty crazy with certain strategies. We haven't seen the level of depth that we're involved in right now. This game is a lot more deep than you think it is. And over in this left area is the dungeon. This is where this cat monster was hanging out. Oh hey, there's an information guy in there. Iron bars cannot hold slime, Jimmy. No, I'm good. Thank you. So, that was the guy that got frazzled by whatever was going on in here. They were keeping the ultimate chimera in there, I think. There's some toys over there. I want to get some toys. And we can get the shoe inserts. That's an item that increases agility. It's not too useful for us. We got better items equipped. But, you know, it might be better later. This door, when it sees us coming, closes up. I'm pretty far away. You can't even use your new bird form to get past. Watch this. Nope, bird is not fast enough. It has to do with that button inside the clock tower. So we gotta come back to that. But I mean bird form. I guess this game just gave away why I wanted to play it. You could be bird in it. Oh, and somebody else mentioned to me, you can knock down things out of these kinds of trees with the punk form. But you could also slam into it with the bird form and do the same thing. Where we really needed to go is to the right, and we have to head upstairs. That's the way to progress in Legato Castle. I get it, I understand you were enemies, but I want to progress. Now we can jump over the gap. Stupid Harpley. Yeah, play that funky music! Look, you're using a recorder. That's a lethal weapon in this kingdom. Yeah. And then it changes it back to the regular legato music. You know what? I want the alarm again. Sound the alarm. Yeah, funky alarm. I'm kind of digging this alarm. I want this at my house. I wonder if there's any music around here. I could really use that. But I don't think there's anything hidden right now. Well, these Legato Knights, I presume. It's Roland. Of the Legato Knights. The Roland. Who? Not in Home Flower, they aren't. What do you mean practiced? You mean practiced your war maneuvers, right? No, I'm gonna use Goon, it has better attack power. I wonder if he has anything cool to steal. Wait a second! I mean, drums are kind of made out of fabric. Maybe I could make him less drummy. Give me that! Hey, wait a second! That wasn't Roland at all! It was an imposter! That's disappointing. If you didn't do that, Roland would use Roland-like attacks and do a lot more damage. That wasn't Roland. Indeed, the Legato Knights. Something tells me there's something amiss here. There's something definitely amiss. Again, another loose thread. Maybe he needs to talk to his tailor. Or maybe he's another imposter too. This will not be tolerated. These Legato Knights are frauds! Let me guess, another fraud. I forgot to shake them, too. They have different lines when you shake them. This is Claire of the Legato Knights. Maybe. I have questions. Hey Claire, some dude said that you were gaining weight. Oh yeah, sure you are. So let's fight totally Claire from the Legato Knights. That could just be a strand of hair, who knows? She has guard-piercing maneuvers, but now she's just an imposter. You know, the Shakespeare days, the men used to play the women. You know, the younger men. And they had voices like mine. Alright, I think I just insulted myself. And who are you? Give it up. Oh, you're not even pretending. This is the worst actor of them all! That does sound really cool, though. Time for us to improvise. I improvised this loose thread. Who wasn't surprised? This is such a disappointment. I wanted to meet the real Legato Knights. But let's heal up a little bit. Obviously, there's going to be some kind of fake imposter boss. So let's change it over to normal. What are you gonna do this time, actor? I know all about your trick now. Well, I also beat up your, like, T-mice and your T-rabbits. Now, this guy is actually pretty good, though. Gee, I wonder how I noticed that one. I've been completely fooled! Windsor, captain of the Legato Knights! Who's totally not. Okay, I get it. You think you're Windsor. He has a posse with him. Well, he's gonna be... Oh. This is the real guy. This is the real dude. Sorry about all that talk before. This is the real Windsor, and he is a boss. And on normal, he can be quite tricky. These toot soldiers, if you execute them both, he will start fighting on his own. But he doesn't really do anything else except order his troops around. So if we could take out one of these enemies, we don't need to worry about Windsor doing as much damage to us, because it'll be down to one enemy. You do have a lot of startle abilities, though. But not when they're in an offensive mode. Offensive mode, they'll get more offensive. And I forgot to put that crush on Buck. They do a lot more damage in offensive mode. But eventually he'll make them fall back. Alright, I'm gonna have to give high five to Buck, because I forgot to give him the new armor. Also, he's missing Crush, which could actually help out here. So they get a strong attack, they get an area effect attack, and Windsor is priming for something big. Let's not let him do that. Let's insult him. And his dumb-looking mustache. Take that! Luckily he didn't get off what he wanted to get off. Once we can take out this soldier here, we'll be a lot better off. Now we can focus on him, because when he orders his troops to attack, he can only do it once. And like I said, this, that high five is really good for healing. Especially when you're just Jimmy and Buck. You don't have a dedicated healer. But we've seen pretty much everything Windsor is capable of. He just orders his troops around. When he's alone, he'll just do, pretty much like Coltrane. Now that guy is preparing for something big. I don't want him to do that. He did it anyway. I really wanted to startle him. But again, you know the drill with normal by now. Maybe we should try imagining bird. Let's use some bird techniques. We get another, what is it? Startle. We get another startle. And we have some dodging abilities. Which can be quite handy. Especially hyperactivity, which you could activate and you could still get a turn afterwards. some of the abilities are like that, especially buffing abilities. So you can spend one turn increasing your power, while also using your power. But the bird does not have any healing abilities, unfortunately. It's just faster. So I think I'm going to switch back to Goon now. Maybe I shouldn't be showcasing off a new form on a boss of that area. But this is just standard now. I think I'm going to start evaluating bosses in the future and wondering if it's even worth going into normal mode for, because then they just become slogs. And I know some people are okay with the slog. Like that dude that played La Milana 2 in the hard mode with like only sub-weapons or something. As you can see, Windsor is dead, but the Toot Soldier will not let it go. He loses his offensive and defensive abilities, but he's still going to keep going at it. He wants to be the boss now, and we're not impressed by that. Okay, buddy, you can stop now. You can stop anytime. I think he had some motivation on him too, which makes him do more damage. Alright, we understand you were a knight. You can go now. Thank you. We could have got a lot more experience from this too. But your forms could only level up once, so if I got like 2,000 experience points, I will not get 2 punk levels. I'll just get 1. So we defeated the real Windsor. The real Legato Knight. Jimmies. And birds. You locked her inside a mirror. I mean, she was kind of terrible. I heard it all from Timmy. Maybe you guys did the right thing. Yeah, I just beat the crap out of you. It must be honorable, right? I stole things off your soldiers. Totally honorable. So what is wrong with the queen? Oh no, is she going evil again? I hate when my queens go evil. I don't know, find Jimmy. I mean, I beat up your best knight. So, the queen is in a bad mood. And I think I know who the queen is. It's Helga! Hi, Mom! Ah, I should have been a bird for this. Then she would have kissed a bird. The things that amuse me. So they found her fall from the sky and they were like, hey, queen. They made her write songs. I knew that royal composition sounded familiar. It was Helga's song. And she had a butler, some maids, a garden. Wow. Mom's a badass. But she's gonna give it up because she's hip. And it's hip to be square. Yeah, there were some problems with Grandma and a dog. Yep, we're on an adventure. Oh, right, yeah, that. If you don't get the Buddy Bee Honey, or for some reason you use the Buddy Bee Honey as an item, which will give you +1 stats, Helga will be rather disappointed. But she can make a cake with it. And we get the bee sting cake. It's a single-use item. It'll give you +3 stats. But what are you talking about? Since when did Jimmy have an animatronic bear? Oh, now it all makes sense. It's a gift from Gammy. Well, I mean, she's a robot. She can do whatever she wants. She's a UFO, not just a robot. Jonathan, however, is a robot. He has to be. So we have a party of 4 now! Excellent! So, where are we going next, anyway? Land of Furniture? Oh, it's WPRK Radio! I haven't heard from them in a long time. I wonder what they're up to. Okay, their program got a little darker lately. That was odd and ominous, and it has a name drop in it. I'm sure it's nothing. Well, you did mention something about a pulsating mass. I think I've seen those. Yeah, that's been centuries. You should let go of the whole Queen thing. Have you tried a democracy? How about an anarcho-syndicalist commune? I have a movie that explains all about it. Alright, well, at least Harpley has things handled. Yeah, our other family members, have you seen them? No? Also, Windsor has some news for us. We could talk to him later. We have some new party members to introduce. We have Helga, the mom of Jimmy. She has a pretty singing voice, therefore she became queen. She has a clutch and a floral dress. She's also optimistic, which makes her immune to sleep, sick, being afraid, and immunodeficiency. She's the team healer. She comes packed with some flower abilities, like high five, comforting smile, and pep talk. Jonathan is he's kind of a support character that he can control. He's filled with stuffing and he can talk. He's also a robot made by Grammy. Regular bear things. He's also supportive. If he uses an item, he'll have double the effect. And he's kind of like a mixed bag of skills. He also has high five. He has sunshine powers. He can energize someone with his MP. And he can wake people up. So he's kind of all over the place. He's attack, he's healing, he's status removal. He's kind of odd. I don't like him as much as the other characters. But speaking of equipment, I want to be picking up some tuxedos if I could get them. But also, crush is going on Buck. Actually, a crush could go on Jonathan too. I wonder how his stats are. Jonathan's attack is 36. What is Buck's? And Jimmy's. Well, Jonathan's actually stronger than Jimmy when it comes to physical. And he has 37. And he's better at magic than Helga. Jonathan, I'm kind of impressed with you. But next time on Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, we have a full team. And we have to go find the rest of the team. I wonder what's waiting for us out there. Also, we got a bird form. Good night, folks.